My name is Charity Mbiti, a young person with disability, physical disability. A person with disability is a person with any condition of the body or mind that makes it more difficult for them to do a certain activity or to interact with the world around them. That it hinders their activities, as in there are some things they cannot do because they have a condition either in their body or either mentally they are affected. So there are things, as much as they want to do them, they cannot do them, or even if they do, there is a challenge on how they're going to do them. That question has caused so much commotion because some persons with disability refer to themselves as persons living with disability because they say the disability is in them. They cannot, as in it's in them. They cannot remove it and put it aside. Then they say that disability stay here and I stay here. Wherever we go with it. Whatever we do, we are with it. But according to the human rights, it's persons with disability, because I am with a disability. I'm not living with a disability. I live obviously with either your parents or siblings, your loved ones, each and everyone, but not a disability. Disability, it's you as a person. No, it's within you, in your body or on you, but you don't live with it. Okay. There are terms where in Kiswahili, mostly I think it's all about the tone, because no matter how much we want to be addressed according to how we feel comfortable, there are terms that cannot change. Because in Kiswahili, what we call a person with disability in English, Swahili mostly it's either they say huyu ni mtu akona ulemavu ama mwenye yani ana ulemavu, but mostly you hear them say anaishi na ulemavu. No, I don't ishi with the ulemavu. I have it. Either I was born with it or I acquired it, but I have it. I don't live with it. And another thing is, if there's these names that they call us kilema, kiwete, there's this other one, short kibuyu, for the short statures, mbilikimo. There's this another one they call the children with disabilities too. There's this name they call what's this? There's these mothers, I'm sorry to say this, but I have to say it the way they say it. They call them mtoto wa fulani ni bonzo, or mtoto wa fulani anakaa what do they viti ama anaka, any, they have so many irritable names that it makes someone feel unwelcomed, and they feel as if they it's a mistake for them to be a person with disability. Yeah, it's all about the tone. You can say mtu ni kiwete, but there is a way you say it with empathy, like you're not abusing this person. Yes, you're using the correct Swahili language, but how do you say it? What's your expression when you are saying it? Your tone, your attitude. How do you say it? Wow. Now, the first thing is always ask. Before you help, ask. Because mostly we assume that being a person with disability, we always need help. No. Not everyone needs help. Sometimes your help is not needed. Just ask. You find someone seated on a wheelchair, and they are trying to navigate in a building or in a corridor and you assume this person needs to be pushed. No. As long as they have not told you push me or help me, ask. If they say yes, now you can go on and help. If they say no, respect their decisions and leave them alone. Another thing is know that persons with disability are able to make their decisions by themselves. Like they can make a decision and stick to that decision. When I say that, I speak of the persons with disability who have mostly gone through what do they call this? Wanafungwa kizazi, because the parents or the society assumes that being a person with disability, I don't have to the ability to decide if I want to have a child, or if they think that I have a disability, so I cannot raise a child according to their standards or according to how they understand the process of parenthood. Yeah. So another thing is do not be judgmental. Yes. Many people assume things of their own before they know the truth. You see me being a person with disability and already judging me. Like you see me, you see someone who is like, huyu venye anakuja, this person wants me to help them. You see. So when you see a person with disability, don't be in a rush to judge them. No. Always give them a listening ear. Listen to them, understand them, and then know how to help them or know how to socialize with them. Yeah. Another thing is always make sure this is for events and activities. Make sure that where you are hosting an event, it's disability friendly. When I say disability friendly, I mean there has to be a ramp for the persons who cannot use stairs, and also there has to be disability friendly toilet. Yes, a disability friendly toilet. When I say that, mostly we think being that a toilet is big, it's spacious, it's disability friendly. Yes, it's somehow disability friendly, but there are those people who are using crutches. They need to help themselves balance so that they can do whatever they are going to do, their business inside the washroom, and without any inconvenience. And also the persons who are using wheelchairs. So when the washroom is disability friendly, it has to have the handles, and the handles have to be firm, so that, because people are different. There are some who are very strong, and if the handles are weak, they can break. So the handles have to be strong. The toilets have to be clean, because these people are very sensitive. Yeah. And another thing about disability etiquette is always communicate on an eye level. I'm talking about there are these people with visual impairment or hearing impairment, or the deaf. So mostly we always talk to the interpreter instead of addressing the person. Or if it's the VI, you talk to the guardian, the one who is there. Like you are not addressing the main person, you are talking to the one beside him or her, so that you can pass your point. No, you're supposed to make sure you're talking to the right person, the one. If it's Charity you are talking to, talk to me, look at me, tell me this and this. Yes, I can't hear you, yes, but my interpreter will interpret it for me. But make sure you keep the eye contact. And then another thing is for the short stature. They are down here, you are up there. So make sure you balance it, like your eye level should be balanced. So you come down, you go down first, then you talk to them. You come down to their level, then you talk to them, where you both are in one level, so that no one feels inferior to the other. Yeah. And then another thing is don't ask intrusive questions. There are some things that unless I as a person with disability wants to share them, I cannot share them if I don't want to. No matter how many times you ask me, or no matter how much pressure you put on me. And there's a way you can ask a question, even if I didn't want to say it, but you ask it in a way that I feel I'm in a safe space. I'm in a space where I feel I'm welcomed, and I feel as if everyone around me understands me. But there's a way also you can ask me a question and I feel like you are intruding in my privacy, or like you make me feel like remember something I didn't want to remember, especially for the ones who have acquired a disability. There's a way you put a question and then you trigger back the memories they have been trying to forget for the longest time. Yeah. And the other thing is focus on the person with disability. As I've said, focus on the person with disability. Do not focus on the other person. Just as I've said, do not focus on the guardian. Focus on this person you're addressing, because they're your audience. Another thing is communicate naturally and with expressions. Your expressions matters a lot, because it is what you express through your face that this person will know if you are sincere or not. Yes, he or she cannot hear you, but he can read your facial expressions. Yes, they cannot see you, but they can feel it. They can feel every word from your mouth, the tone you are using. They can judge your attitude. They can gauge your attitude. So mostly we say persons with disability are very rude. No, they are not rude. It's somehow it's a way of them. It's a defense mechanism. When you come with intrusive questions, or when they feel like this person is somehow they're not friendly to me, so the only way someone will know how to defend themselves is either be harsh so that you can step back and leave them alone. Yeah, mostly. So that's why you find like someone say, hey, persons with disability are harsh, persons with disability are rude. No, most of the times are where you violate these etiquettes and then you expect them to be friendly to you. No, they won't, because they feel as if you are intruding into their space and you have not asked for their permission for you to do what you have done, especially if you want to help them and they have not asked for your help. Obviously, they will bash you out. Yeah. Another one more is be patient. Be patient with how others communicate. Our disabilities are different. There are those who have speech. They have a disability of speech. Like they speak slowly, and sometimes their intellectual is they understand things slowly too. So if you lack patience, you may not understand them, and also you may irritate them because they are very quick to anger and they feel like this person is intimidating me, because mostly they are what we call, they are stammerers. And then I think everyone is a stammerer in this world. because there's a way, there's a point at which when you get so angry, you start stuttering. But there is that disability of, like, they cannot speak a word without stuttering or stammering. So if you come across such kind of a person, you have to be patient, because the way you talk is not the way they will talk. You will talk a sentence, within a second you are done. They will take either a minute or two to make the same point or a sentence that you have said. Another thing is there's this disability of the cerebral palsy. There's also, after a cerebral palsy, the conditions are different, and there are those that after the rehabilitations they speak but slowly. So if you're not patient also, you will get irritated, and when you get irritated, they sense it, and they also know that you are irritated because they cannot speak the way you speak. Yeah, one thing people don't know is that persons with disability sense very quickly that if this space is not safe or friendly to them. I don't know what God put in us, but there is a way we just feel like there's something missing here. These people, even without you talking, your attitude, you have not expressed it on your face, yes, but there is just that negative attitude that it's there in the atmosphere. We feel like this place, yes, we are here because we have been called, but there's something missing. So yeah, that's all for now. Okay, so mostly we say the blind, but because that is what we are used to, because mostly the terms used either in the dictionary or in the religious books, the Bible, the Quran, everywhere it's either the blind or in Swahili kipofu. That's why I said not all terms can be changed, because you can't change the Bible, you can't change Quran, but the tone that you use. So when we say visually impaired, we are referring to the blind. When we say hearing impaired, we say the deaf. But the deaf, you can just say it as it is. He or she is deaf, or he or she is blind. But the blind, mostly they don't want to be addressed as blind. Just say VI. If the visually impaired is a long word, use VI. So for the person that does not understand these terms, it will be very hard for them to know what VI means. Yeah, so that's why we always say the awareness should always be there. Like, it should not stop. Yeah, people are aware because, okay, before people used to see a person with disability as a beggar or as a burden, a beggar or a burden. But nowadays, being that the rate of road accident is up there on top notch, and diseases are there, so daily people are dying. Yes, daily people are acquiring disabilities. So we always say that I, as a person with disability, cannot cross over to your lane. Like, I can't be a person without disability anymore. I am already a person with permanent disability. But you, as a person without disability, crossing over to my space, it's let's say it's unexpected, because it's a thing of, is it 5 seconds or 5 minutes? Because if an accident happens, it's just a crash. Yes, you have acquired a disability, either temporary or permanent. You will still walk with crutches. You will have a plaster on your hand for sometimes. There are things you used to do, but with that thing on your hand, you can't do them. You'll need assistance. So I think with the awareness that is being created, mostly either through social media or physical meetings, yes, people are being aware of persons with disability, to the extent that our last elections, there was a person with disability, visually impaired to be specific, who was vying to be a president. So persons with disability are being recognized. Yeah, it's not that much, but it's a slow and sure process. Yes, the stigma is still there, but it's not as much as it was back then. Because back then I remember walking on the road and a child is like, hey, Mama, what is wrong with that nani? That girl she has no hand. Actually, mostly people called me mtoto wa Solomon mkubwa because I have no hand. He has no hand. So obviously we are one, we are all the same. But I think the awareness, and also being that the CHVs on the ground are doing their job well. Also, the government has made it possible to access the services. These what are they? Disability services, the registrations, the what, as much as it's online, yes, but mostly people have been made to know and understand that this is not a death sentence. No, it is a condition. Yes, it is not a disease that can be passed to another person. No, because mostly people are afraid that if you interact with me and I have a disability, then you'll either give birth to a person with disability, or you yourself, you'll end up being a person with disability like me. But it's not. That's just a myth. And another thing that I can say for sure that persons with disability have been recognized in Kenya is the president's daughter, Charlene. She has been very, very, very much devoted on matters persons with disability. She has been doing summits and concerts for persons with disability, being that she herself is a sign language interpreter. Yeah, so mostly I have seen so much effort being done in the country.